The Blaxploser was born in Hungary and now works from his studio in London. He never went to art school. Instead, he taught himself to paint, and shows in the way he walks, loose, fast, and full of childlike imagination. His paintings are usually huge, filled with oversized cartoonish creatures. Some look like animals, others look like something out of a dream, part monsters, part toy. He does not use fine brushes or careful blending. Instead, he works with oil sticks, lets the paint stain the canvas, and sometimes even leaves footprint behind. The result looks unfinished, almost accidental, but that is the point. In just a few years, Bozo has gone from an unknown painter to one of the most collected young artists working today. His auction prices have climbed quickly, and collectors say they are drawn to the honesty of his work. Nothing about it feels precious. It feels like a play. Critics place him inside the wider return to raw, expressive painting, a reaction against arts that feels overly clean or overly conceptual. For now, Bozo's giant, playful creatures are some of the hottest works changing hands in contemporary art. Catherine Bernard. Catherine Bernard is an American painter known for taking ordinary, everyday objects and blowing them up into huge, brightly colored paintings. Thin phone cases, cigarettes, snacks, food, and cartoon characters repeated again and again across giant canvases. Her technique is quick and loose. She works with thin acrylic paints and spray paints directly on raw, unprimed canvas, letting the colors bleed and drip. Nothing is corrected or cleaned up. The patterns repeat, almost like wallpaper, but the effect feels intense rather than decorative. Her subject matter comes straight from consumer culture. The products, brands, and the images that surround us every day. By repeating them obsessively, she turns ordinary things into something that feels overwhelming to look at. That connection to modern life, combined with her fast, expressive painting style, has made her a favorite with major collections and institutions. Her work sells for large sums at auction, and she is widely seen as one of the artists who helped bring loose, expressive painting back into fashion. Bernard shows that art does not need a complicated concept to succeed. Painting the things we see every day, boldly and without apology, has been enough to build a serious art career. Daniel Richter. Daniel Richter is a German painter who did not start out in fine art at all. He began his career designing artwork for the punk rock music scene before moving into painting, and that background still shapes how he works today. His paintings are large, dramatic, and often shows crowds or glowing figures caught in tense, chaotic scenes. He mixes bright, almost unnatural neon colors with darker backgrounds, creating images that feel urgent, as if something important is about to happen. Richter moves easily between styles within a single painting. Parts look carefully drawn and realistic. Other parts dissolve into loose, messy brushwork. This mix gives his paintings a restless, anxious energy that many viewers connect with modern life. He often paints subjects tied to history, politics, and conflict, but without making the work feel like a lecture. The paintings pull viewers in through drama or color fest, and the deeper meaning comes after. This combination, serious subject matter delivered with punk rock energy, has made Richter one of the most respected painters in Germany, with his work regularly selling for high prices at major auctions. David Saul. David Saul is an American painter who rose to prominence in New York during the 1980s, at a time when the art world was becoming obsessed with media and image overload. His work reflects that shift directly. Instead of painting a single, clear subject, Saul layers multiple images on top of each other in the same canvas. A painted figure might sit beside a cartoon, a fragment of advertising, or an abstract pattern, all combined in one composition. Nothing is meant to tell a simple story. The viewer is left to make sense of the different pieces themselves. This layered, collage-like approach mirrors how people experience image today, pulled from television, magazines, and advertising all at once. Saul was one of the first painters to capture that feeling on canvas. His work is often described as intellectual, and it demands more attention from viewers than a straightforward painting might. Rather than offering easy answers, it asks questions about how to process the flood of images around us. That approach has secured Saul's place as one of the most important American painters of his generation, with his work held in major museum collections around the world. Robert Nava. Robert Nava is an American painter based in Brooklyn, and in a short space of time, he has become one of the most talked about names in contemporary art. His paintings deliberately avoid looking polished, and that rough, unfinished quality is central to his appeal. He paints fast, often while listening to loud techno music, using spray paint, acrylics, and grease pencils. His subjects include dragons, two-headed dogs, and other imaginary creatures, drawn in a style that looks almost childlike, similar to doodles or early attempts at drawing. Nara keeps smudges, stray marks, and mistakes visible in the final work rather than covering them up. This is intentional. He is chasing speed and instinct over careful technique, and that wrongness is exactly what has made collectors take notice. His paintings regularly sell for far more than their estimate at auction, a sign of just how much in demand there is for his work. Nava's rise reflects a wider shift in the art market towards works that feels immediate and instinctive rather than carefully finished, and he's currently one of the clearest examples of that trend. Jordi Kerwick. Jordi Kerwick is a self-taught Australian painter now based in France, and his career is one of the fastest risers in recent contemporary art history. He had no formal art training and only started painting seriously as an adult. Yet within a few years, his work has been collected internationally. His paintings are part with pattern and detail, featuring bold, flatting depictions of animals such as tigers, cobras, and unicorns, often combined with leopard prints, decorative patterns, and still life objects. He builds these images using thick oil paint, enamel, and spray paint, sometimes adding collage elements too. Kerwick does not try to hide mistakes or rough edges in his work. Instead, he leaves them visible, treating imperfections as part of the finished piece rather than something to correct. His style blends folk art and ancient animal symbolism with a more modern, domestic feel, as though old myths have been placed inside a contemporary living room. That mix of the ancient and the everyday has made his work instantly recognizable, and he continues to attract strong demand from collectors, cementing his place among the most closely watched painters working in contemporary art today.